Conflict Rotation Optimizer, or ConRo, is a DPS rotation helper add-on for World of Warcraft. Like other rotation add-ons, ConRo suggests what abilities you should use to increase your DPS. In a recent video, I tested ConRo against 4 other rotation add-ons and found that it increased my DPS by nearly 30%, which was actually one of the best increases of these add-ons. To get started with ConRo, you can install it manually or through an add-on manager. I personally use Singularity, but CurseForge, WoWup, or any other manager will work. When you install it, you'll also need to get the ConRo add-on for your class. For example, if I play Demon Hunter, I would download the main add-on and then also ConRo Demon Hunter. If you forget to download the class module, you'll get an error and the add-on won't work. Once you've installed ConRo and your class module, you'll see a set of icons, 2 toggle buttons, and a skull overlay on your action bar. The large icon in the center is your next recommended spell. The circles on either side are for purge and interrupt suggestions. These will show up if an attack can be interrupted or a buff can be purged during combat. If you don't like where the icons are located, you can left click and hold to drag them to a better spot. You can also turn them off entirely if you only want to use the action bar. To do that, open the ConRo options by typing /ConRo or by pressing Escape, Interface, and then Add-ons. Next, click on the tab that says Display Window Settings. To turn off the main icon, you can uncheck Enable Display Window. To hide the Interrupt and Purge icons, you also need to uncheck the boxes for those separately. As a side note, you can also turn on an icon for defensive recommendations in this window as well. There are 3 different types of spell suggestion overlays you can set up on your action bar. The first type is for damaging abilities. This includes spells in your core rotation and cooldowns. You can customize the size, color, and shape of these under the Overlay Setting tab in ConRo's options. Clicking on the colored square next to the overlay name will allow you to change the color. Adjusting the size slider will change the size, and the style dropdown allows you to customize the shape of the outline on your action bar. There's some pretty cool ones that you can play around with here. The second type of overlay you can enable is for defensive spells. This will let you know when defensive abilities come off cooldown. To enable it, you can check the box for Show Defense Overlay. The last overlay type is for notifier spells. This includes interrupts, purges, raid buffs, and movement speed ability recommendations. Keep in mind, defensive and notifier overlays don't tell you the best time to use abilities, unlike the damage recommendations. I personally find it to be too much to have all the overlays on at once, so I prefer to turn off everything but the damage recommendations. But hey, if it helps you use your utility spells more, feel free to use the extra overlays. The last feature of ConRo I want to show you how to use is toggles. The left toggle button can switch between burst and full. If you're in burst mode, the add-on won't tell you when to use your cooldowns. Basically, the idea is to allow you to choose the best time to use them yourself, based on the boss fight or situation you're in. When the toggle is set to full, the add-on will suggest cooldown use. The right toggle allows you to switch between single and AoE. For melee classes, there will be an extra option of auto as well. This will allow the add-on to automatically decide which rotation type is best, based on the number of nameplates near your character. For ranged players, you will need to toggle between single target and AoE manually. To do that, you can left click on the toggle button while in combat. However, there's a much better way to do that doesn't involve clicking. If you hover over the toggle, you'll see a macro / command. This command can be included in a macro to switch between modes without having to click the toggle. To set this up, open up your menu with Escape and select Macros. Click on New and give your macro a name and an icon. Now type the / command from the tooltip into the macro box. Now you can drag your macro onto your action bar to allow for easy switching between modes. Using the / command doesn't impact your global cooldown, so you could also include the toggle alongside an AoE spell as well. For example, I could set up my Shadow Priest to cast Mindseer when I turn the toggle on. Just make sure you don't use the macro to cast the ability every time, or you'll be toggling it back and forth between modes. If you want, you can also hover over the left toggle and set up a macro to switch between full and burst as well. In the ConRo options screen, you can change the size and direction of the toggles under the Toggle Button tab. You can also hide the toggle buttons by checking the box. This will remove them from your UI, but they can still be toggled with your macros. The burst threshold will change the cooldowns that are left out based on the length of the cooldown. If you have it set to 90 as an example, the add-on will recommend spells with cooldowns under a minute and a half, but not above. So you would get 1 minute cooldown recommendations, but your 3-minute cooldowns would be left out. And that's really all you need to know to begin using ConRo. If this video was helpful, slam the like button and subscribe for more add-on guides. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.